protected? Huh?
What?
I'm on the show.
What's up?
Hey, everybody.
What up?
Happy Friday.
Happy
Happy Friday.
Right.
Happy Friday. Happy Friday.
Friday.
Happy Friday, William.
Look, he got a towel around his cup.
That is funny.
Were you drinking out of a vase, Will?
Hey,
That's hilarious.
Dwight. William is hydrating for tonight's festivities.
Clearly.
He's getting ready.
I'm hydrating for the gym.
My dog hydrating for the entanglement. Oh, let's get it in early. Let's go. Come on.
Oh, boy.
That's it.
Abort.
William.
Look at Roy.
It's Valentine's Day weekend, aka the Cougar Growl. Yes.
Yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Look at him flexing.
I'm retired.
Cougar growl. What y'all know about the cougar growl? Y'all don't know nothing about the cougar growl.
I'm talking about. Hey, go ahead, William. Hit the Ted Cruz one time.
Miles.
That was Latif.
At Miles.
Oh.
At Miles. What are you doing?
That's my dog Williams. That's his standard. That's his standard pose, the cougar growl. That's how they come after my dog.
Oh my gosh.
Cougar growl. Miles, you don't know nothing about
Hey.
cougar growl. You can go to the camp.
What do the older women like to do on Valentine's Day?
Honorary. I'm an honorary cougar. That's my home school. My mama wouldn't let me go
You
there.
was supposed to go. Look,
I was supposed to go,
Supposed
April.
to.
I
You was
was.
supposed to go.
April.
Kelly
I was
said,
supposed to go. Yeah, she shut the door on that.
But look,
Yeah.
I don't know which was worse because both of them, that's over there. They was off the chain too.
South, we was off the chain in South Miami. We was.
Off the chain.
Yeah, we was.
Okay.
Listen.
but see, she knew that he knew way too many Negroes at Kenyon, and
what
that
she-
just would not have been.
Girl, South Miami
good
ain't
look.
nothing,
Hey,
nothing
April,
clear,
April-
ain't nothing fewer at South
April,
Miami.
You're right.
April,
However, he had to make friends there at Killian. He already knew
You saying the history
everybody.
wasn't
So,
got it.
you know.
the variable that my
Take
mama
long in
failed
South
to account
Miami.
for, April. The
She
variable
forgot
that my
that
mother.
you was
She
that
forgot
dude.
that brothers
gonna
gonna
make
be brothers
friends.
anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wherever
you
I
gonna
go,
make friends, it didn't
I was
matter.
gonna assimilate no matter where I went. That's what
Right,
she felt.
right.
Assimilate.
She thought you would have greater discernment at South
No.
Miami than you,
Right, that's
than
what
you
she
would
thought.
at Killian.
That's
No.
what she thought.
You went to South Korea.
Discernment.
Actually, I went to Gables and South Miami.
You might as well have
Gables-
went to Killian because then you
And
had
Palmetto.
the nest. I was
Right.
gonna say you went to
Palmetto.
Palmetto too. Look, you had the
Palmetto,
nest of
Stockbridge.
people to keep you
For the
up.
people that aren't in
South Bay.
Miami, they're talking about things that are happening in
I know.
Miami.
Let's move on
It's-
because
it's-
Makita, like,
it's-
okay, that's
it's
high schools in
outside.
Miami.
Hey, you know,
I'm in Lauderdale.
I
Neither
don't
one
know
of them
none
schools
of
either.
that.
So Mokita, I mean,
Me
we're talking
neither.
about
Mokita,
negrosity,
Leroy.
right? And that happens in Shaker Heights too. That happens in Fleet. That happens in Akron. That is universal. That happens on the West Coast, Roy. You know about these things. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Yeah, don't
You
try
know,
that.
we know about East and West Oakland. You know.
Yes.
I mean, I'm just saying we can expand. We can talk about the ATL. We can talk.
Yeah. I mean, let's be clear. Too Short was born in Oakland but moved to Atlanta, so it doesn't get much trapper than that.
You are absolutely right.
You know, he picked his cities intentionally. You know what I'm saying?
I want to know about what happened last week in Tampa, because them Tampa fans was going buck wild. And
what'd you do, William?
Yeah, talk to us, William. You ground zero for that one. You got to lead us in this one. You ground zero, bro.
Man, listen. Hey,
make sure you wipe your shoulder off, William. You got some COVID on there still.
Yeah, they talking about us. They talking about us.
Vaguely remember what happened.
Vaguely.
I do remember. But you know, at the same time, there's some details that just don't need to be explained. But yeah, it was a great time. It was nice.
William, what are those things that don't need to be explained?
It's a reason why they don't need to be explained.
Connie watching.
Well,
okay, William, you shooting them shots.
B, you on mute, B. B, you muted.
So
you gotta get on mute, B.
B, you muted.
You muted.
She's punking y'all. That's what she's doing. Y'all,
what's wrong with her?
And then she laughing at herself and still won't take herself off mute. Like, what is
that? I'm laughing because I side called Jessica and we were talking and she was like, "You need to cover your mouth." So
Look at her. She just tickled herself. Look at that. She just tickled herself.
What are we talking about tonight?
So clearly you missed it, B. That's good. We still in Tampa, B.
We were talking about Tampa.
We were in
right, exactly. What happens in Tampa stays.
You were somewhere else. You were side calling because we were all at the Super Bowl. I don't know where you were.
Okay, what's in Tampa? They won the Super Bowl.
We were talking about the Super Bowl. B.
Wait, Dana said answer the door.
Dana said answer the door.
Mothballs.
I think Dana.
Let Dana in, Jessica.
Let him in.
Let him in. Let him in.
Y'all act like this is the Bad News Bears.
Let him in.
So Jessica, just you know, the mayor of St. Petersburg got into a Twitter beef with 50 Cent. Behind him having a Super Bowl party in St. Pete that weekend where nobody was wearing a mask, and it was like 500 people.
Well, Tampa was better.
Yeah,
I didn't see that, Dwight. I didn't see that.
They were just out and about.
They made the shade room.
Super spreader alert.
Hey, if it's on the shade room, it's 100% unequivocal fact.
Right.
Unequivocal.
If it made the shade room, that means you shoot. It might as well be biblical.
What? Yeah.
Lord. Now you're going too far, Miles. You're going too far.
Not biblical, exactly. You being extreme right now.
The shade room is
April.
I don't know. Miles might be onto something.
What's going on here? What are you talking about?
Miles might be onto something because that doctor who freed the gorilla girl from her bondage got a shout out on the shade room too. Bondage. And
I love that.
he has gifted hands, Ebony. Gifted hands.
Her bondage.
Her bondage.
It was a joke. But my artist said, "Hey, can you remove Gorilla Glue from somebody's cap?" I said, "Of course." And I walk off. I brushed it off, and the next thing you know, they were asking questions. I looked up the compound. Okay, the main active ingredient, Gorilla Glue, polyurethane, and we figured out the science, how to break it down. So I then decided, I did not want to reinvent the wheel. So we bought chemicals that has components to dissolve. A solvent. It's a medical grade adhesive remover that we use in the operating room. The company was very generous to us. They brought me some. They even saw me mix it up today when they were here. And then the active ingredient, I have another ingredient called MGD. I add an MGD to it, okay, which is aloe vera and olive oil mixture, okay. And then we add a little acetone, Unfortunately, I don't know why Gorilla Glue doesn't have a solution to it. And actually, I did make a phone call to Gorilla Glue.
All right now.
Wait,
look at that. Look at that.
What are ingredients? He said
he's a chemistry genius. They said
he planned on using
he
Gorilla
put the
Glue
greaser in her head. That's all he did. He put the grease in her head.
He put Goop in her head. Wait.
Hey, Randy's sitting here taking notes. Randy.
Clap it up for the black man. Let's do it.
Gee, thank you for celebrating us every once in a while.
Now, here's the thing. If they put Gorilla Glue in the Black Museum in D.C., that would be
awesome.
Okay.
I heard somebody was like,
Gorilla Glue, it should be the solvent that he made. That's what they
There
should
you go. They should have a picture of him.
Girl done said turpentine.
No, somebody said they used Gorilla Glue on the cup because they were like, man, she's lying or whatever. So they put Gorilla Glue
and he about to lose his lips.
and put it on his mouth, like see if it'll stick.
No,
it's stuck.
It did. They said he's going to lose part of his mouth because he was dumb.
Oh, that's I mean, people gotta be smarter than that.
People are now doing like the Gorilla Glue challenge.
Some hair left.
They keep doing stuff. I am too.
But did you
I wonder.
ponytail? She was like, I really wanted my ponytail. I was like, come on. She was like, I have a date for Valentine's Day.
You see this? Use this. You don't use this for your hair. And it's a strong adhesive. Don't use this for your hair. You don't use Gorilla Glue.
You stupid William.
You Gorilla. I don't know, but not this. She said, don't use this. This mess up your hair. You see this? And she knocked on her head and clank.
Nah.
He said, boom, boom, boom.
William, you so silly. Who else when they found out that the doctor was volunteering his time? Who else thought that it was a black man? I just did not in my wildest dream, and I didn't picture a black man solving this.
I
did because of Black History Month.
Man,
that's only right.
William,
only right.
No, Michael.
It's only right. And he sound like he from Wakanda too. It's
right.
They solve anything.
Listen, y'all. I saw a post said. This post said, "I'm keeping up this year." So in January, they had people climbing up the Capitol.
Yeah,
and then this month, February, is the girl with the thing. They like, I'm keeping up this month with all the foolishness. I mean, this year with all the foolishness.
I heard I saw that one too.
Oh my goodness!
You know that could not have happened back in the day. Our mom would have been like, "Cut that ish off."
Would have just shaved it off and kept.
I'm surprised she still got it. That was a miracle. She still got her hair.
When I first heard about her GoFundMe account she should have at least man.
Her Instagram has a manager.
I thought when I first heard of that, I thought it was a joke because in my wildest dreams, I never thought somebody would be that stupid, for lack of a better word, to put Gorilla Glue in their hair like that.
Don't use this for your hair.
Oh my God! Don't be around the right people. I mean,
oh my God!
And y'all saw when she was trying to wash it out. She said, "Look," and she was like scraping. It was like her scrubbing the towel or something. She said, "It don't come out. Look at this." And then caption say, "GG, your days are numbered." That ain't they fault. It says strong adhesive.
First of all, every glue says don't put it on your skin and don't let it cut you off.
Exactly.
You're not even supposed to put hair glue on your skin for real. Like come on now.
Gorilla Glue's lawyer was like, "We good. That's we straight."
Yeah. Ain't nobody worried about her.
Yeah,
because she's not reading the directions.
Do you believe that those things that they're saying that she's contemplating suing now?
I don't think so.
She can't.
I don't think she was.
Can't.
What's her case? What legalities does she have? What legal basis? What legal grounds does she have to preempt the lawsuit?
She would have to be mad at herself.
She can plead insanity.
This ain't a criminal case, Latifah.
That's what I was thinking, Mokita. I just thought that she was going. I thought that the gorilla glue was going to eat through her scalp.
But all those chemicals that they just put on her scalp. He was telling them, like, he was telling her during the procedure, like, your scalp is gonna be kind of sensitive. Because that's a lot of stuff. You won't even put that on your regular skin. And your scalp does not see that much sun or that much air and all that other stuff. It's
edge gel be looking like feeling like.
Did y'all not see her in the mirror like this? Like, let me check my edges. Let me see if they there. I'm like, girl, you better be glad you got hair at all.
You right.
Edges
at all.
Send her a wig, please.
I just want to be there for the next date.
And that was great that he gave her that service. What was it, like $12,000?
What?
Yeah. And I think they flew her out there too.
She got flued out too, Mokita?
Flued out.
Hey, forever, if you think about it,
all I gotta do is put some Gorilla Glue on my hair to get flued out.
She got flued out.
Every other person that does it is not gonna get that service.
Hey, listen.
Gorilla glue. Latifah coming to get you, dog.
She was really walking around there with like a World War II helmet.
Not a World War II helmet.
Where she could walk through the construction site and be straight.
Unharmed. Waiting on the one and only.
He's unharmed.
Unharmed.
Look at her.
Look at that. You see it rock solid.
Yo, she said her hair had been like that for a month.
Look, you see this?
That means it wasn't growing either.
That thing was late.
This is Gorilla.
Because I don't
use this.
This
is Gorilla Glue.
A little bit.
Right.
Not Gorilla Snot. You don't use this. This thing shit to your hair. This is exactly how the picture was just now. Look, you see this? Don't use this.
I want to see the dude on her first date.
Video? Did y'all see this one? Did y'all see?
Oh my God.
You want more?
I didn't know it had sound. Did she say you want more? Lord. Oh, Lord.
After she cuts the video
off. Wait,
she's suffering from dementia. They showed the videos before and after.
The only dementia, only thing that means is that she was racist before and it just popped up again.
No, listen,
it never went away, William. It never went away.
There was another video of them dancing. Yeah. Like she was playing some music and she was dancing and the lady was dancing with her and they were just dancing and playing around. And I'm like, that's a little much, though. I don't know how much dementia.
Ain't that much dementia in the world.
Nah, listen. If you know,
I don't know.
Mental health issues are real, though, April. You know,
I didn't realize she had. I did not realize she had dementia, but if
that
she does,
would have to be my parent.
If she does, the lady has been trained. She's a caregiver, so she decided to stay in that situation. That lady can't help what she's doing.
That's her decision, but I'll be doggone if I'm a caregiver and somebody finna spit on me.
So
it would have to be my parent.
It takes a special
that
person.
would have to make me be like, okay.
Wait, listen, y'all. That lady took it because I think that lady was recording it for herself. So she was like, I'm a composer, so I'm gonna let them know how this lady is doing me. She was because she looked at the camera.
But she has dementia. She's not in her right now.
Ain't that much dementia in the world.
Get on the toilet and use
Tanya.
Wait,
you doggone right, Tanya.
What are you saying, Jessica?
Tanya, you're right.
A memory. that does not mean that you don't have the simple functions and operations of a living.
Yes, it does.
You know you're not supposed to spit on somebody.
You know to drink water.
Listen to me. The last stages of Alzheimer and dementia, you can't
It's
swallow.
very sad.
Yeah. That's why you die. She does not remember.
It's very sad. Yeah. Some people get nasty and some people don't. Yeah, it's something that you can sign up for.
I mean,
let me chime in for a second.
Because we went through this with our grandmother.
Absolutely. I was getting ready to say, big bro.
And our grandmother, it was very uncharacteristic, or it might have been characteristic of her.
Tanya, you about to be my friend. That is funny.
So I mean, in her last days, it did become one thing of her not being in her mind. I mean, it got to the point where she, where she got extremely physical with my granddad and pulled out a gun on him and stuff.
Yeah, she pulled a gun on him.
Nobody wants to use the restroom on themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
like my grandma tried to fight me during the highlight stages. So I
get it.
Okay,
but
I'll
I'm just not there yet. I'm just not there yet as a caregiver. I'm just a special person.
That's not going to be a trigger for you. Maybe you will allow the dementia and the experience of dealing with somebody with dementia. But those of you who are my friends, who know what happened when that white man attempted to spit on me and he couldn't because of the glass, and the spit just fell all down the glass, and I attempted to for a very long time kill him. You don't have that trigger in you.
I was on the phone with you, so I know.
But understand what I'm saying. Understand what I'm saying.
As a caregiver, that is what you sign up for. You know what happened.
Person.
Right. It takes a special person. You're right.
Nurse who works inside that.
Jesus has not. He
didn't bless
me to that level to
the Garrett girls.
Because had she spat on me,
he did not bless the Garrett girls with that.
I'm not
spat on me.
For the record, I'm not.
I got a homeboy that
maybe Willie or Pat.
Nah, I got a homeboy that said that was like
or Bessie.
He said, "What if God?" He said, "God, I got one more test for you," and he was like, "All right, what's that?" And he said that in the test, and it pointed to that video like in the story, and he was like, "Yeah, God, I appreciate everything and all, and I've been rocking with you for a minute, but I'm gonna just go ahead and holler at you."
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like dog. I ain't there yet.
Everybody is not set up for everything.
No, everybody got a different trigger. That lady just didn't have that trigger.
My sister, she can't do what I do. I can't do what she does. Everybody is not cut.
Absolutely.
For everything.
That's real.
I'm
just saying, person.
From having the firsthand experience with
Yeah.
dealing with my grandmother and knowing that some of the stuff she said and
you had empathy because that was your grandmother.
Right. I mean,
she had love for her. But if that was somebody that was not your family member,
two things that she did I can laugh about. We laugh about it now, but like my brother said, she pulled a gun on my grandfather and then told us that she didn't pull a gun on him. She just showed him that she had one. And then she accused my grandfather of cheating and then accused me of aiding and abetting his cheating. She said that I helped him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I believe that part.
And that's when I knew like something.
That part I believe.
Well, you are a big fan of entanglement.
I believe that part. I don't believe that.
You're a big fan of entanglement.
I mean, let's be clear. Your grandpa didn't cheat, but you were definitely a conspiracy.
You was in it.
I can comment and say that my grandmother, and I call my sister from the moment when I was with my grandmother, she was doing some very out of characteristic things as well. I can't say that I left there feeling good about my grandmother though.
She did not.
The stuff that she was doing, that didn't fit well with me, and I knew that I needed to allow a little more room between our relationship in order for me to feel really good about her moving forward because of some of the stuff that she was saying. I was like, yeah.
That's funny, Belinda.
She told my grandfather one time I was over there and they were arguing. And she said, shut up before I kill you. Before I kill you right now. And then she said, and then my grandfather was like, you always talking about me running around with these women around here. I'm 90 years old. What I'm gonna do with 2 old women? And my grandmother was like, I don't know, because you can't get it up. You must gonna eat it. Like that wasn't like, of course, that wasn't my grandmother. Like,
oh my God,
Miles,
this is a PG.
When she told me,
elderly people talking about stuff because I heard enough from Dwight. Okay,
when she told me,
not enough. I don't want to hear it.
I was
I
don't want to hear about all that.
What's next?
What happens at the birthday dinner stays at birthday dinner.
What's next on the list? I mean, I'm still trying to adjust. I'm trying to adjust to Williams.
I don't know if I like this.
Wait, how are we gonna go from that to syrup? That's not a good transition.
That looks like a Walmart brand. Like, you know,
that's
like
so funny. B, it's the off brand. B.
It look like an off brand.
You need to put
Why don't they just say Jemima? Not Aunt Jemima. Why don't you just say it's Jenny's or something like?
Look, me and my wife talked about this last week. Negroes, we ain't never satisfied.
If they don't,
it looks like brand now.
I'm with the people.
If it was Jenny's, they were like,
take it off and let them give it Aunt Jemima. Listen, already. Take her off.
I understand with them taking it off because the Aunt Jemima, what it stood for and all that other stuff. I understand that. However, it doesn't even look like the same. Not saying keep it. You could change it.
Let's see. Let's look at it again.
It's
still awful. It's still awful.
It don't matter. We the one that made them all the money. Take it off. I don't care if it look different and nobody buy it.
Y'all all know we all gonna still get some Pearl Milling Company syrup. We gonna get some of that syrup, okay?
First of all,
we don't go to
I rock with Miss Butterworth because she
It's just her silhouette. It's her silhouette.
Listen, Miss Butterworth wasn't racist. You know, she got
I'm a Miss Butterworth man myself.
I'm a Miss Butterworth. You know,
I like Miss Butterworth too.
Hey, Miss Butterworth.
We ain't never had no problems with Miss Butterworth. It wasn't Auntie Butterworth. It wasn't. It was always Miss Butterworth.
Let's do a Mrs. Butterworth. I ain't giving her no money. Don't use her name at all. And at the end of the day, people say Jemima and use it.
But is it a person?
No, it was a cat.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's
not.
So but the reason why they don't need to use Jemima at all is because people still, them racist white people or whoever, still use Jemima as a derogatory thing.
Take it off. It's always been a derogatory thing.
Damn, Brandy, you thug, girl. You thug, Brandy.
He's upset about this.
Brandy, you taking this thing a little too serious. Brandy, you be thugging to me like, what's an HBCU at the same time?
Wait,
Brandy chose violence. She got on Black Forces with a white side.
Listen, Brandy said she got 3 hours in Afro-American history from the University of Florida, and she said she gonna use that class. You better know.
I'm like, when I shine, I'm shine.
Don't try her, Roy.
Right.
Wait,
take it off. What's homecoming again? What's a homecoming?
Where does the Pearl Company come from? I said, that's the name of the family that owned her.
Let's break this down and start with home.
She was on. That's what it is. Pearl Milling.
You know what?
Pearl Milling was where the flour and all that stuff was built.
The guy from FUBU, Damon John, he said that they failed. And this is branding. And Mokita, you can chime in on this. Branding, everybody. We all know branding.
I was here to say, yeah.
Everybody. I just went back to my roots. That's why I went Mokita.
I said one time, Quinta Kente to Toby. Yes,
you didn't do no promotions with you. My bad.
That's what the lady did. She went right back to her roots when she started speaking on the caregiver. But I'm sorry, I'm back. Damon John said that they missed it. What they should have done was to reach out to different affiliate groups like HBCUs or the NAACP or the Ladies Family and pull.
And we would have been behind it.
Like, what are some names that you think that we should change the company to? And then from a branding standpoint, I took it to another level. You should have put it out to social media, to the world, to say, hey, what is the top 3 names that we should name it?
I mean, right. To get everybody in it.
It's called white privilege.
Right.
They don't really understand the
black pancakes.
Shut up, boy.
Well, if you know, it's just like I see in the comments about Cracker Barrel. I mean, Cracker Barrel is along the same lines because the word cracker came from the crack of the whip, and then they would put all the whips into a barrel to sell, and it was the Cracker Barrel
to sell.
That's good.
Oh my God!
I never knew the picture is still a whip.
That brother's spitting.
People love going down there.
That brother's spitting right now. I mean,
help their cause. I mean, really. I mean, think about all the losses.
I love them pancakes and biscuits.
Right.
That brother is
woke. But and here's the thing, Cracker Barrel. After all the lawsuits, when I go in, I feel a little racist my damn self when I walk in Cracker Barrel.
I'm highly disturbed.
I be looking at them like
terrible.
All I know is
like, and all them pictures on the wall of all these old white folks
about that before.
No black folks live back then.
Your sister mad at you, Brother Lateef. She said you did not inform her you would not be in a Big Brother. You did not inform her of what that all stood for. That is your job, Big Brother.
Yes.
I do that.
Like, oh my gosh.
Well, y'all ain't well, that's you too, Miles.
Listen. It is my job. It is my job as a big brother. It is my job as a big brother to protect and shelter my little sister.
Well, she
want her to have all that
agrees with me. But Linda said they have the pancakes.
But let's remind folks that Lateef's alma mater was started by the author of Up From Slavery, so he knows these things. Shout out to Booker T. Washington.
It was not started by Booker T. We educated Booker T.
Look at the shot that
Cracker Barrel.
He was educated there.
Okay, Belinda, don't go there.
Wow. That's her husband. She's supposed to back him up.
Don't do that.
I like it.
Don't do that, sis.
I like
go for like a little meal.
But I like it. I like the idea, the foundation of it. Guys, we said goodbye to one of the Supremes this week. Mary Wilson passed away at the age of 76.
You got a B-fly.
Yes, she is.
Mm-hmm. Shoulders all out.
Beautiful.
You better have your shoulders out, girl.
William, did you light a candle, William?
He cried.
William had the time.
William poured out.
This is my homies.
William was wiping his mouth.
Dwight. Now stop the madness. You know that woman way too young for William.
Y'all need to stop.
Oh my goodness.
Let her rest in peace.
Yeah.
Let her rest in peace.
William hit that. Miles, William hit it like Florida Evans. He's like, damn, Mary.
That woman about 10 years too young for one.
Hey, when
William said it was going to go in this order: Diana Ross, Mary Wilson, Tracy Ellis Ross.
Right.
Hey, while we playing, William might be wealthy. He collecting on them insurance checks while we playing.
Exactly.
Independently.
Don't sleep on William. His name is Will I Am.
One thing is about the Supremes. Everybody know about Diana Ross and Mary Wilson.
Shout out to
Nobody ever knows about the third one.
Florence Ballard, man.
Florence Ballard. But that's because she died in 76.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
She died earlier.
Yeah, she died early.
There you go, Brandy. Get rid of him. Who's that again?
Right.
I'm like, who? I'm just kidding.
Exactly. We got her.
We ain't talking about her because
I know Metallica.
Well, William, if it's any consolation, Martha Reeves is still alive from the Martha and the Van Dyke.
Why I thought you were Martha Stewart.
I was about to say it's Black History Month.
Right.
Martha Reed song. Martha Mandela.
That's a good cover, William. That's a good cover up, William.
I mean, better stop talking about Snoop woman like that. You know
I
that
know,
Snoop
that's what
woman.
I'm saying. Snoop will go in there with all them shoulders, ripping his shirt.
Stop talking about Snoop woman like that.
Snoop getting credentials with her. That's how he's selling
it.
Is Snoop trying to
so
divorce
does Martha.
his wife?
Martha get credentials by being with Snoop.
Is he what?
Is he trying to divorce his wife?
I haven't heard that.
Snoop?
I thought I heard something about. I thought I heard something about him saying
allegedly.
Okay, we'll say allegedly that he was saying that he needs space to breathe or something like that. Like it's some song or something.
Snoop just shot a whole show at Macon, Georgia. He'll be all right.
For me to be wrong. Cause I was like, dang, they've been together for a long time.
He tried before, and they got back
let me see your shirt.
Charlie Wilson intervened on that. Wouldn't let that happen.
Yeah, I like that.
Charlie Wilson saved the day.
We said songs. Speaking of songs, did you guys hear about Mark Cuban?
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear about it.
He said he was going to not allow the singing of the national anthem.
Yes, I did.
Well, here's the thing. He actually did. So
yeah. Actually, they had been playing.
They weren't playing the anthem. But I think it's. I mean, he's always been ahead of the curve. I applaud him for it. Because, I mean, you got to think about it. I mean, and the thing is, it goes back to even the branding. Mark Cuban actually went back to the community. They do a lot of outreach and talk to the community and say, hey, tell us about some issues that you think that really affect you. And they talked about the national anthem. So they had not been playing it. I think once the media got a hold of the story,
in November,
NBA overturned it.
Yeah, they overturned
it. Because Roy, correct me if I'm wrong. I remember reading or hearing somewhere that in the NBA bylaws that there is a mandate that all players must stand or must actively participate in the Star Spangled Banner.
That goes back to Mahmoud Abdul-Rahman.
Right, which is why he got blackballed. Right. Is that's true? Correct?
Why was that blackballed?
Chris Jackson.
Because he would not honor
that man's name is Mahmoud, man. Don't do that, bro.
What's his name?
Mahmoud Abdul-Rahman.
Formerly Chris Jackson.
Formerly Chris Jackson.
Why did you say Chris Jackson, Latif?
Because that was his original name. His original name
okay.
He was born with Chris Jackson.
I was going to say, don't play with me because I don't even know if he's playing.
I know. When he converted to Islam, he changed his name. And he was the first one to really, quote unquote, take a knee against the atrocities that was done against the Black community. And so what he did was at first he wouldn't come out for the national anthem. Then they mandated it.
As soon as Latif finished.
Then they mandated that you must come out. So he would come out, but he would pray during the national anthem.
With his back turned to the flag.
With his back turned to the flag. And everybody blackballed him and everybody dismissed him. But I guarantee you, to this day, he could play in the NBA and still bust up the people.
He played in the Big Three.
Yeah, matter of fact, we seen Latif at the game. Yeah,
his team won back to back. Like if you watch, he played with Shaq at LSU. He was the reason why Shaq got all them points for, to a degree.
That's right, Tanya. That's right.
Listen,
but
y'all respect Muhammad Ali up in this jump.
But if you watch, they did a documentary on Chris Jackson and on Mahmoud Abdul-Rahman, and you see why he was good because he would go up against his shadow, and he was like, if I could beat my shadow, I could beat anybody. And so he would pretend his shadow was a defender, but of course your shadow is always right there. But he would come down and he would do a move and get by you, and he would shoot you lights out.
He was Steph Curry before Steph Curry.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
So I just want to take the conversation back to the national anthem before we move to the next topic, because there is this circulation around the fact that Mark Cuban has brought up a very interesting dynamic as it relates to playing this song. Can't you play another song? Can't you do the song over? Can't you change the words? Brandy was the first person who came to me saying, why don't they just mix up the words? And in the New York Post, Brandy must have heard what you were saying because they released an article about the fact that the word.
Brandy.
Yeah, it was Brandy. That they need to just change. Look, we're running out of time and we cannot. We didn't talk about Louis Vuitton and they don't know what the flag colors of Jamaica is.
That is that's tone deaf. This is what you call tone deaf.
Right.
What? I think they don't care.
We have to talk about this before we get off tonight. The Trump trial, the impeachment trial. We are on to as I exhale, the ability to, at a minimum, stand for something. But some people are saying that the Democrats are just really just
punks.
Go ahead, Dwight. I'm interested to hear what you got to say about it.
Well, no, I mean, listen, Trump should have he's been impeached technically, but to vote him to get him all the bells and whistles, it just requires Republicans to get on board, and they're just unwilling to do that. But they always point Democrats saying Democrats aren't doing this. Like, let's hold these. Remember, we're talking about Rubio, Scott are both Florida, Republican senators. They choosing not to vote for the impeachment of Trump in the Senate.
That's right.
Too, right? So let's not give all the smoke to the Dems like, oh, well, they should be doing more. They did their job. They impeached him twice. He's gone to the Senate trial twice, and the Senate needs to do their job.
Right.
But you got these punks like Mitch McConnell and Ted Cruz and all these folks
Lindsey
who
Graham
are just spineless because they're fearful of what the repercussions of these Trump voters are going to do to them, which is weak-minded. You know what I mean? Like,
they wouldn't even let the cameras in the room. Like, they don't even want to see how they're reacting to it. That's crazy.
Yeah, like it's just real punkish, as Roy pointed out. But I will give credit where credit's due. Representative Plaskett, delivered all the goods. The Congresswoman from the Virgin Islands, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate the team that Pelosi put together. But she put together a team of lawyers who really ripped him to shreds. So there's no reason for them not to vote for the impeachment of Trump from a factual standpoint. And that's really the thing that you got to paint for these folks. They're just, Senate Republicans are just weak. They ain't got no backbone.
Yeah, but at the end of the day,
receipts. I watched the impeachment trial, and I was just like, how can you dispute this? Like,
you can't argue facts.
I tell you, they walked it. I mean, they walked you from the beginning to the end. How do you not?
And the Trump attorneys look like they was a 1-800 number. Like somebody called them right before.
But here's the thing. Dwight, it's the same. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Roy. Go ahead. Okay, I appreciate it.
It's the same people. It's the same people for the last 4 years that ignored all the mess that he was doing the last 4 years. So why should we be surprised?
Right.
I'm surprised.
Go ahead, man.
But it's dangerous, though.
Came into the city
it is dangerous.
They came into the Senate.
They came to kill them. Yes, they came to kill them.
This is not the same. This is not the same.
No, Makita, it's not. But you have to understand what the dichotomy that is at play. You have on one side
dichotomy.
You have on one side you have the facts, right? That the Democrats continue to spew, and then on the other side you have party loyalty, and like Dwight said, in the Senate, there's just so fearful of what will transpire in the event that they go along with the impeachment because they are loyal 100% to their party. And of course, his lawyers are going to look like a bunch of buffoons. Dwight, remember, the whole legal team quit a week before the trial started. They quit. They were like, listen, cuz, we can't do it.
We throw hands up.
Right.
Up and quick. Five lawyers that he had hired just basically told him, "Bro, we're not going out there with you. You're gonna have to find
one of the devastating things that always kills me is that, you know, over the last 4 years we had all of this divisiveness. So then the new administration comes in. So now the Republicans are like, well, what are you going to do to unite the country? What am I going to do?
You said a mouthful.
Yeah. So now you want me. You want me to do it after you ain't do nothing for the last 4 years.
Right.
The line has been drawn, and we're gonna stay right there. Plain and simple.
Right. Yeah,
yes,
but like I said,
you to unite. What's wrong with you?
Right. You can't argue those facts. And what Plaskett laid out was so damning, in my opinion, because when she basically said, like, had they found Nancy Pelosi, they would have killed her.
They were walking through the halls, sounding like a horror movie. Nancy, like, really?
Right.
Nancy Pelosi, and they were looking for Mike Pence.
He turned on his own people. He was mad.
He's not even a Republican. I mean,
he is a Republican, but Trump was saying that he should have stopped.
Tanya is hilarious.
The whole
that's your sorority sister.
I'm sorry.
Spot on, Tanya. You're right.
It goes back to even the people that came into and just invaded, all the terrorists, as we say. But I think what happens though, even with these politicians, man, I mean, just it something has to hit close home for something to change.
Roy, my point though. Roy, this is different. What I mean by this is it's not even the last 4 years. We're talking about the same people that wouldn't pass a simple gun law when kids were killed at an elementary school. You know what I'm saying? Like, all they were saying was, can we get some kind of restriction?
But Dwight,
there's nothing that comes from their heart at all.
You gotta understand, Dwight. It wasn't their kids. It wasn't their kids.
Listen,
and I'm gonna tell you another thing. That's been the plight. That has been the plight of the Black community for the longest. Because you got to understand, gun violence is nothing new to any person of color who, in any way, shape, form, or fashion. We all got homeboys that's been dropped in the streets as a result of gun violence. But when it crosses the tracks, when it hits your community, now you want to march. Now you want to enact and perpetuate gun laws. Now you want to talk about gun safety.
And but that's the problem for but that's the point. The point is when these are white elementary school kids got killed.
Right.
And these old white men sat back and said, guns are more important than the kids. At that moment, and this is under the Obama administration. That should have been every clue you needed at the kind of thought and the callousness of the Republican Party. Like, this is what I'm saying. January 6th ain't new. What I'm saying is January 6th was people getting on TV saying Obama was an illegitimate president because he wasn't born in the country, and that being a news story. The idea that actual news stations carried that, like, oh, by the way, this guy Donald Trump is saying that Obama needs to produce his birth certificate. Like, think about that.
Exactly.
The first Black president, and you're literally asking whether or not he's a legitimate president for the last 4 years of his term. Like, that should have been the bell that went off in everybody's head. Like, we're dealing with a different animal. We're dealing with a racist animal. An animal that does not care.
But when they were laying on the floor and running down the halls, trying to protect themselves from the insurgents that came in to do them harm.
But you're missing it, Mokita. The white folks in Congress, the Republicans in Congress, never thought they were going to get killed. And that's the psychology of it. That's the part you got to remember.
They were like, they ain't coming for us.
They were like, they're looking for AOC. They're looking for the Black people.
Yeah.
They're looking for Nancy. They ain't looking for me.
That's what they thought.
These are the same folks that may have very well been calling from the safe area to the insurgents, talking about here's where we at. that made other folks be like, we got to get out of here because these cats in here with no mask on their cell phones. We don't know who they calling, so we don't feel safe around these folks. It's like government right now is in the garbage, and people have every right to be scared.
I mean, I think everybody has the right to be scared, but I still think that when those folks also came in there and got a chance to walk home and go home and walk away and take selfies, it gives us every reason to feel the way we feel and feel like nothing's going to happen with Trump. Right. It's the same old story.
You're right.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
You are absolutely right,
and make it even make it up past the steps. That part.
The same logic that allows somebody to invade the Capitol is the same logic that makes them believe they're not going to get shot by the people invading the Capitol. Like that's the terrorist psychology of white supremacy.
What a way to live, huh?
That people don't understand.
At the end, when they start saying, "Well, I feel like I was duped. Trump told me he was gonna walk with me all the way down." I just don't understand.
Y'all, these people are delusional. When you delusional, you delusional.
100% delusional.
How you coming to be mad about something and you not worried that your teeth not there? Like, I don't even understand. Like, you mad about something that you can't control, but you okay with all this out here? This is absent? You don't have no health care.
Look what Damon said. Florida, our state, still trying to name a highway after him.
Y'all crazy.
But them the same the same people where their aunt married their uncle. They walk around barefoot.
Right.
Now
they doing all the incest, all the foolishness. All of the incest. The incest.
I'm just saying, them the same people that walk around barefooted. They aunt married their uncle. You know what
I mean? Roy, I like the way you're saying that, but guess what? In the country of Great Britain, that's called the royal family. So I need you to understand again how white supremacy works.
Right.
Dwight. Yeah.
That's right, Tanya.
We're not gonna find no
We're not. Look, so before we go, let's give a huge shout out to my boy.
Yes,
get your money, Dave. Get your money, Dave. Dave won.
Yeah,
Dave got the most successful boycott in the country right now.
We get all the Chappelle show.
Y'all know Makita about to text Dave. You know that's her BFF. She about to text him.
Yeah.
She grabbed the phone. She's like, Dave, so why you tell me about the lawsuit?
Hey Roy, if Dave ever get kicked out of his house, he could just go stay with Mokita. Just go stay. She'll cook for him. Wash his drawers, everything. She'll take care of him.
Right. His wife will be coming with him.
Yes, absolutely.
And his kids.
And his wife, where the laundry room is.
And the children can come with him too. Absolutely. The whole family can come.
We mad. You didn't tell us ahead of time, Okita. We supposed to know from you. That's why we mad.
I just wanted the Chappelle show back. That's it.
He asked me to keep it under wraps.
Right.
And I signed a confidentiality agreement. So
right.
Woo, you got no
confidentiality
agreements from Candy.
Yes.
Be locked.
No, Melinda, no.
That is funny, Melinda.
Dave and Makita sitting in the tree. SMOKING.
Yes. You better believe he gonna light up one of them cancer sticks.
That's it.
He gonna light up one of them cancer sticks.
One of them cancer sticks.
On that note.
Well, no, you're not trying to not hear somebody love life, and you out here with the elderly.
Friday.
I said, you out here with the elderly.